Hi guys, David Wright here. Today I want to talk to you about banks. I'm going to give you some tips and advice on things to do and not to do about your banks here in Spain. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say that you should always get professional advice. I'm not a professional, I just give you my tips and advice, things that I do, I have done and that work for me and that could work for you. So get professional advice when you're buying and selling and when you're getting banks and mortgages and things like that, obviously. Okay, so that said, here goes. Banks in Spain are all out to just get the money out of you. They want to get the best deal and they make money out of you. They're a business and that is it. So once you get that into your head, you've got a good understanding of the banks here. So banks are all pretty much the same, but some of them do better deals than others and you need to shop around. A few days ago, I did a post about how I think it's best to get a mortgage here when you're buying in Spain, even if you don't need a mortgage. The reason I said that, and it has upset a few people here, especially some estate agents, the reason I said that is because if you get a mortgage here, the bank normally take, and I say normally, take more interest in protecting their investments, so they do more searches. This is a fact. I've actually had experience with this on several of the properties here. Banks do more checks than most solicitors do. Now if you get a good recommended solicitor and they do the job properly, they're very good as well. But I normally find that a bank will do a better check and go into more depth with their checks and research on property, the ownership, building regulations, things like that, if they know that they're going to lose some money. If you go into a bank, and as most people do here, they don't need a mortgage, they buy the property outright, the banks don't worry, they're going to get their money anyway. So they're going to take less interest in doing the searches on that property. So that's why I say go to a bank and get a mortgage, maybe for say 5 years, like one of the mortgages I did recently, a 5-year mortgage, and pay it off early. There's no payments, or if there are payments you can negotiate these fees with your bank. Okay, another tip here. When you go into a bank, a lot of people here go into a bank to start up a bank when you first move to Spain. They go in to set up a bank account and all the papers and stuff like that. We've all done it, we'll go through it, and it's one of the most important things you need to do when you move here to Spain. But most people that don't speak Spanish here, they take somebody with them, and rightly so, to help them. And they actually speak to one of the first people they meet to in the bank, which will be a bank assistant, or if you're lucky, it will be the bank's number one assistant. Now this is not the director of the bank. You need to go and speak to the director of the bank manager. Don't go to a local little branch, you probably won't even see him now. Go to one of the main branches of your bank and ask to see your bank manager. If he's not there, make an appointment and go back another day so you get to see the main man. Some of these assistants do good deals and stuff, but the bank manager has more power and more authority for starting new accounts and mortgages, and he's the one you want to speak to and build up a rapport with. So I'll just give you an example. The last property I bought here, it was a plot of land, and I dealt with the bank manager, and a few weeks later we started dealing with the number one assistant, and she was a lovely girl, very helpful, and we gave her paperwork and stuff we needed for buying the land and building on the land and stuff like that. Then one day she phoned me and said that she needed all the receipts of the materials that I was going to be buying, every single receipt of the materials, and that this was in the terms and conditions of the mortgage. So we read through the mortgage, couldn't see that anywhere. Who really reads all the small print anyway? And so we decided to go back and see the bank manager. I made an appointment with the bank manager and I spoke to the bank manager, and he said, don't worry about it, you don't have to give us any receipts, forget all of that. He understood that I didn't want to do it, and the reason I didn't want to do that was because I was buying my materials here at different builders merchants, wholesale, and I was paying cash for it, and a lot of the times to get the best discount. Nothing really illegal here, just that I didn't want to show the bank all the receipts of what I was actually paying for and where I was paying for it. So by speaking to the bank manager, we overran what this assistant wanted us to do. Another thing, guys, when you go into a bank, if you open up a new bank account, say for example, and you want to get a mortgage here, sometimes, well, the other day somebody said to me they were turned down after 3 months. The bank did all the checks and they turned them down. This is not the end of the world. I've been turned down several times for mortgages here. This is what I suggest you do. If you find a place you want to buy here and you want to finance it through the bank, or you just want to do the bank account through the bank, go to the bank, shop around different banks obviously first. Go to the bank, tell them what you're thinking of doing. This is the bank manager, remember, not the assistant. And tell him what you're thinking of doing. And then write down the details and everything on a piece of paper and walk away. Don't do anything there and then. Tell them you're going to be looking at other banks and you're going to have a think about it and you're going to come back. Then go and look at other banks and ask them the same questions, see what they're offering. Then a few days later, when you find the one that you think is the best for you, or the one you feel comfortable with, go back to that bank and say, look, we've seen a few places, we've seen this, we want to do this, what is the best deal you can do for us? And normally they can reduce their payments, the interest rates, or come up with some other ideas. Several years ago, I was with Bank of Santander, and they were a very good bank. We were with them for about 5 years. I always change banks a lot regularly, but this bank we felt quite comfortable with and happy with. But we wanted to buy this plot of land that we got now and start building a new house. So we went in to see the bank manager, and we said, you know, who was a woman, and we said, look, we want to build a plot of land. Yeah, that's fine, no problem, you can have a mortgage. But the payments they were asking for were much higher. We needed to put down quite a big deposit, and the terms that the mortgage was over wasn't what we wanted to do. So we weren't very happy with it at all. We shopped around, went to another bank, and we found a better deal. But what the better deal meant that if we wanted this deal, we would have to close our old bank account, transfer our credit cards, our bank cards, our gas, our light, electric payments all through this other bank. Now guys, this is a bit of a hassle to do, and when you're setting up a new bank, you've got to do it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But when you're looking for the best deal, I've done this several times here, several times. I've changed banks, set up all these direct payments, my gas, light, electric, everything going with this new bank to get the best deal I want on the mortgage. Then when I've got that mortgage and I've been paying it for a couple of years, I'll shop around again to see if there's something else better along. I don't just sit there on that mortgage forever. The mortgage I've got at the moment, we've only had it for just over a year on the house build. Once the house is finished, the first thing I'm going to do is go out and look for other banks to see if I can get the best deal. So guys, always shop around, always take somebody with you, and get to build up a rapport with the bank manager, not the assistant or the person working behind the desk. No matter how nice they are or how well you get on with them, you need to speak to the director of the bank manager. Make an appointment, go and see him and get to know him a little bit, or her, and see how you feel with them, and do this on several banks to get the best deals. I've got my bank manager's number in my phone, and I can call him whenever I want with any questions, and he normally answers straight away and very helpful. If you try and phone the banks here and you have a small problem with the bank, you get put on hold, you go to a service centre somewhere in Madrid, they put you through, or you have to try and make an appointment. This is no good, guys. Build up a rapport with the bank manager, get to know them personally. They might get a bit fed up with you, keep going in the bank, but do it anyway. It's their job, and that's the way to get the best deals, guys. See the bank manager personally, face to face. Now, these are my tips. This is things that have worked for me, that are currently working for me, and they can work for you. If you don't speak Spanish and you're a bit daunted by this, take a friend or pay somebody that speaks Spanish and go in there and make the appointment with the bank manager and try this out for yourself. Shop around for the best deals. If you get put off by the bank or even turned down for your mortgage payments, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. Don't turn away from the first hurdle you get thrown at. Go and shop around, look at other banks and see what they're offering. Banks are all the same as respect to wanting your money here. They're a business like any other business. They want to get the best out of you, but they don't all work the same way, and some of the managers are better than others. One of my last bank managers I didn't get on too well with, and we changed, no problem, and the guy I'm with now is brilliant. I'm actually with Bankia now. They're doing some very good deals. And just as a side note here, somebody said something about buying cars in Spain the other day. I was offered a car, a brand new car, over 4 years for €149 a month. €149 a month through the bank, the new bank, which I just opened up an account with. A lot of banks are doing deals on cars now. Again, go and speak to your bank manager and ask him about these deals. They have a brochure on the cars that are available. There isn't a great range of choice on these cars, but guys, every 4 years you can have a brand new car. They call it renting here. It's not a leasing, it's a renting. Pay €149. This includes the service, all the maintenance charges, the insurance, fully comprehensive insurance, the lot. Okay, all you do is fill it up with petrol every week. And this is starting from $149 a month for a brand new car. At the end of 4 years, you take it back, start again, have another brand new car. It's just a side note, guys. But so I hope these tips and advice has helped. Please leave a comment in the link below. Thanks.